In this lesson I will combine the last lesson with the tiles that we have done in the previous lessons. So as I mentioned before, you should have saved the tiles.blend file, but before you open that one and have it like this, be sure that you save the other file that you worked with if you're not been working in tiles. If you've been working in tiles, everything is fine. Otherwise, just save your old file, then open tiles.blend. And when you have that open, press Shift A, go to group and see if you have your new group here. And I don't have it because I worked in two different files, so I need to append it. So I just show you how that is done. So I go to File, Append, and then I have saved my other in a master. Say I can go back a few steps. So I have one that I call saved, which was the last lesson I did. So I open that by pressing Append, and here I have material, and I just take material 1 and press Append. And if I now press Shift A, group, you can see that I also have the leaning tiles in here. So if you've done that and everything is fine, then you are now in the base tile set that looks like this, where we did all these mortar stuff. We have the base tile in, and now we should add our leaning tiles group as well and combine this so it looks good. So press Shift A, go to group, and take your leaning tiles up here. And now we have one with amount tiles and with tile amount. I cannot decide, should be some standard I believe, but we know what it is. We need a value input here that we put to both of these. So Shift A, input value, and we can put that to 5, and we can put that to amount tiles up here and to tile amounts down here. So we get that in. And now I would like to use the result here that we should have named in a better way, but I will use that to get the leaning out and combine it with the base tile set in the same way I did with the bricks texture that we used in the last lesson. So all I have to do is use a multiply from this one. So I drag this out and write multiply and put that in here. And now we need just to find the right spot for this one. And it will be down here. Not here that you perhaps thought from beginning, but if you take it here, you will also get all the noise texture on the tiles that are leaning too close to all the mortar here. So that will not look so nice. I can show it if you want to. It's just that if I take it from here like that and then put it in here, you can see now that see what I did. Take away this. It was like this. So yeah, I used this one here. So then I should use the multiply from here and connect it to the factor here. And that was what I meant. So if we take it from the beginning, combining just those two, you also get all the dirt and noise in, and you don't want that. So just leave the factor in here, and instead do all the mortar stuff in the beginning, and when you're finished with the mortar stuff, then you can multiply with the leaning that we have on the leaning tiles. So you can take the color from here instead, and now put that into the smooth minimum like this. So you have that in. And now we also have the leaning on every tile here. Could be that after this multiply you have to adjust the smooth minimum a bit. You can see you can then rotate these exactly as you want to make it look nice. I also would like the tiles to be rotated, and that we can change with the new vector rotate, but put it into the base tile set. So if we select base tile set and just press tab, we go into this one, and we did this far away in our first lessons, and now I would like these to be rotated. So to make that happen, we would add a rotate or vector rotate between the fraction and the subtract here. So just press Shift A and you go to vector rotate, and you take the fraction to the vector and you take the vector to the subtract. So we have that in, and also remember to change the center to 0.5. The only remaining thing now is to make this a little bit random, because right now you can see it works, but we need to be random. It's going to only be a very small portion, so not much at all, but we need to have some type of random into that. Before we did it with snap, but I will show you a more lazy way to do that, because we can, I just move everything so we get some room here, because we can do it in a more easy way. So Shift A, and instead we use a texture called white noise. So that texture contains noise, meaning random values for everything that is different out here. So as soon as something changes here, you will get a new value out here. And to make that work, we can change it to 2D, and we can take the floor value from the scale, which then means that we get a new value for each tile here. So we just drag that out and we write floor, and we put that into the vector for the white noise, and then we need to convert the value so it's somewhere between -1 to 1 degree, and we can do that by first subtracting with 0.5. So we write subtract here, because we would like to have both negative and positive values from this one, and then we multiply with whatever degrees we want to change. And finally, need even more room, it looks like. Finally, we then convert it into radians here. So Shift A, and then go to converter, math, and add to radians. So we have that in, and we have that in, and now we can change here with a few degrees, not too much, just 1, 2, 3 degrees like this. And we can also use that as an input in our group input, so we can play with that. So we put it in here, and we change the name to rotate factor, so then it's easy to work with. And that is all that is to that. So when we press tab, we now have another input here where we can rotate everything in a random way to make it look more real, so to say, because now it's not so perfect. So now we have the leaning in, and we also have the rotation of the tiles. So just save your tiles file once more, so it's saved with both these in here. And in the future it could be then more lessons around these tiles, because all the stuff that we learn is really good to use on tiles, and of course other stuff as well. But I will see you in the next lesson, so I just say bye for now.